morning, everyone, and welcome to my first session of this new podcast series, Talk in the Metaverse. And good morning to my guest, Stephen Johnstone. Good morning, Stephen. I'm so honored to have you here.
Well, it is a great honor for me to be here, Ilaria, and especially with you, because we've been on a journey together these last few months, and I think we have both enjoyed the growth we've seen globally. So it's wonderful to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, yes, I'm so excited. You are my first guest, Stephen, and yes. So, and this series of podcasts will involve some of the top influencer and top XP agents from the EMEIA country. That's why I'm so excited to have you here. But I don't want to take time away from my esteemed guest, Stephen. I have a first question for you. Before you join XP, can you tell us something very briefly about your background and how you got into XP?
Yes, Ilaria. So I am actually, strangely enough, I'm not a real estate agent. And I promised myself I would never become a real estate agent.
Me too.
And promises, you know, never say never, because I am a real estate trainer. I've had a real estate training company. I started in 2003. So almost 20 years ago as a real estate trainer. I had a training company before that. I was training in the corporate environment. And through an amazing set of circumstances, I was introduced to the ex-chairman of a company called Providence Systems. Mm-hmm. And at the time, so Providence Systems has subsequently become a Buffini and Company. And that was a real estate training and coaching company based in San Diego in America. And Brian Buffini, probably the most well-known real estate trainer on the planet. You'll know Brian from your background. And so the ex-chairman, his name was Tom Gay. Tom said to me, look, you seem like a great guy. You've got great experience in training. Let's get you in touch with Brian Buffini in America, and let's see if we can start Providence in South Africa. And that's exactly what we did. I went and spent a bit of time with Brian and his team in the States, came back and started Providence in South Africa. And I ran Providence Coaching Systems in South Africa for 7 years. And it was a wonderful time. And I learned an enormous amount about the real estate industry itself. And we worked with thousands and thousands of agents. We coached hundreds and hundreds of them one-on-one through my organization. We built a great team here. I then spent a little bit of time out of business. I was in ministry for 7 years. And then about 5 years ago, got back into real estate training. But this time online, I wanted to actually take all of the training and coaching and experience we'd got and put it into an e-learning format, because this whole world of online learning was taking off. And I had a great journey for 5 years running an online business. And I learned how to use webinars and Google Meetings and Zoom and online learning platforms. It was incredible. I learned how to use video. And so it was really a wonderful journey. And then just before EXP launched in South Africa, one of my ex-clients who had a real estate company in South Africa, now living in Canada, contacted me and said, you need to take a look at this company that's coming to South Africa. Yeah. And I actually pushed him off in the beginning. No, because lots of people are trying to get me to sell their stuff.
Yes, like me.
I hope you weren't as difficult as I was, because I was quite difficult for this. Yeah. You know, after I watched a Brent Gove's Model Explained video, and even though it was, you know, the US version, and I got the concept immediately, and I knew immediately when I watched that video, I have to do what I've said I'm never going to do, and I'm going to join this company, and we're going to build a team. So yeah, that's kind of the background to it.
Oh, such an incredible story. And Stephen, so tell us about your first year in XP South Africa.
Well, it's been an incredible journey, and EXP is an incredible company. I say to agents now when I present the model, I will say repeatedly throughout the presentation, I just hear myself saying this, you've never seen anything like this. And really that's been my experience. So we're just over a year in having launched, and my team has grown. I've personally sponsored about 60 people, and the team has grown to just short of 200 agents.
Wow.
And, yeah, we're saying to other team leaders and other real estate companies in the country, how long have you been in existence, and how many agents have you got? There's a big franchise that we've just had an agent come across from, and they've worked for several years to get that up to 30 agents in their area, and they've got a big successful team there now. Well, within 12 months, I've got 200 agents. You've never seen anything like this. This EXP model is phenomenal, the way it grows. The other thing that I've really enjoyed is the team. I work very hard to build the culture within my group. We have our own events just within my group within EXP South Africa. We've obviously got WhatsApp groups and work chat groups, etc. And to have seen the level of support and friendship and collaboration and just the positive family vibe and culture that we've managed to build. And these are 200 agents scattered all around South Africa. EXP is an incredible company when it comes to culture, and I've enjoyed that as well. So we're on a journey. We're only just getting started. Growth has been great. We've already had South Africa's first capping agents are in my team. In the last week, that announcement was made. So it's been phenomenal. It's been better than I could ever have imagined, and we're only just getting started.
Amazing, Stephen. Thank you for sharing. What a beautiful journey. I have another question, and I think it's a question of so many agents. What do you feel is the most important quality for someone to have to become a successful real estate agent? And can you share with us some tips to become a productive real estate agent?
Yeah. So my message for 20 years as a real estate trainer has always been the most important thing you do in your business is generate leads. So lead generation has to become the foundation of any successful real estate company. Now, that doesn't mean that service excellence is not important or that negotiation skills are not important. But if you don't have any leads, you don't have a business. So
fine.
That would be the first thing I would get someone to do if they were saying, I'm not where I want to be as an estate agent. How can I get where I want to be? I would go back to basics and I would say, let's talk about your lead generation. Do you have a good, proven strategy? Yeah. Do you have systems that will be able to implement that strategy? And then it's a bit of a difficult question to answer. What's the one thing that would create success? Because there isn't one thing. But
I agree.
I think that the thing that all top agents have in common is once they have a good strategy, and we can teach agents that. We know what good agents do as far as phone calls and prospecting and public branding. And I mean, these are not secrets. But the one thing we see with top agents is that they have the ability to do things consistently. People who fail, get excited, they do something for a day or two or a week, and then they lose interest, or they generate some leads and then they stop the lead generation. Now they work with those clients and then they're inconsistent in their income. Top agents have an ability to maintain daily and weekly disciplines over a long period of time. So I think it's not an answer that agents would want to hear, but actually it's the right answer to your question is consistency, discipline. The maintenance of disciplines over time is what creates long-term success. And of course, there are little disciplines that we can teach agents, but as I say, I don't think that's where the real secret is.
What a powerful message, Stephen. Thank you. what is the advantage for you of working with a global company like XP?
Well, the first thing I've got to say about EXP is that the model, the technology just did not exist in South Africa. And I mean, you could say the same thing in Italy. You could say the same thing in Spain or Germany or Greece or Canada or Brazil or Mexico. Or so, you know, the truth of the matter is, what's the benefit of being exposed to this global companies? Because they've brought a model and a culture and an agent-centric way of running their business that nobody else in the world has. So we're incredibly grateful that this American company has come to South Africa. You know, that to me is actually the most important answer to the question, is that we didn't have it here. And they brought it, and now we are standing on the shoulders of great people like Glenn Sanford and Jason Gessing and all the leaders, and Michael Valdez and the leaders of EXP. So very, very grateful for this opportunity. I think from a real estate perspective, the opportunity that we present the buyers and sellers in the market is to be exposed to a much bigger audience. Workplace and work chat are incredible tools. I think a lot of EXP agents don't use workplace and work chat to their full extent.
Right. Yes, that's true.
You know, get onto workplace, form groups, join groups, connect with other top agents around the world, and use those relationships and those groups to begin giving your clients a greater exposure globally. And again, I just don't think any other company in the world has got the kind of collaborative culture that EXP does have. And then the last thing I would say, and we can't ignore this, is on the agent attraction side, which is just one benefit of being a member of EXP, is that you can sponsor other agents. But if that is something that you're interested in, building up a passive income, EXP's model provides us with a sponsorship without borders opportunity. I have one of my 196 agents is in France. His name is Frank Brisson. Frank was an ex-coaching client of mine. He's 100% French. I don't even think he's ever been to South Africa. I sent him the video when EXP launched in France. I said, Frank, have a look at this. This is incredible. It's launching in France. A couple of months later, he got back to me. He said, this is great. I'd love to join. And this is how simple it was. We sent him the French join link on the French EXP website. He clicked on it. He filled in the form. He signed the contract. And then where it asked for sponsor's name, he put my name. That is as simple as it is for me to have a global real estate company. And now when Frank does transactions, I will get paid in euros for his transactions. So, you know, where in the world can you start a real estate company where you can literally be generating passive income globally from agents all over the world without having to go and start a company in France, register a company and somehow do that? So the global passive income opportunity with EXP is just unprecedented.
That's true. You know, Stephen, I used to say we are a global community, but with a local spirit, right? And that's incredible. Is the future, in my opinion, of our professional, but it's also the present. And so I have another question for you. Any advices for the hard moments, Stephen?
Say that again, Ilaria. Any advice for?
For the hard moment?
Oh, for the difficult moments. They are going to come. You're right.
Yes.
Look, I don't think you can achieve anything in any field in life without having the ability to get through difficult times. And that's true of a good marriage. That's true of raising children. That's true of building a business. It's true of getting fit or staying healthy. There's going to be challenges that come along the way. And so, you know, how do we overcome challenges? And I guess one of the answers to the question is you've got to have a very clear why. You have to know why you're doing this. You have to have a very clear dream or sense of what you are wanting to achieve, so that, you know, when things get tough, it's like, well, where else am I going to go? You know, well, I'm not going to quit now. Like, if things get tough, that's just the way it is, because this is the vehicle that I know is going to give me what I want. So, you know, you can't come into something like this and dip your toe in the water and just think, well, I'll give it a try, you know, because then you will bounce around. Have a very clear why and a decision. And then I think another very important answer to the question is to lean on your relationships, your friendships. It is so important to have people around you in your life who also understand your vision, who really support you in your vision, so that when you are having a bad time, you can go and pour your heart out to your friend over a cup of coffee or over a Zoom call like with you, right, and just say, you know, I'm struggling. It's been a hard week. Everything's falling apart. And when one person falls, his or her friend can lift him up. And that's a secret to life. You've got to have people around you who are there going in the same direction you are. Good friends, good relationships, to me, are vital.
Amazing. Thank you, Stephen. And at this point, the next question comes naturally. What are your plans for the next 5 years? Why you laugh?
I'll tell you why I'm laughing, because I was talking with someone a couple of days ago, just saying, some people seem to have a life which is very linear. It's very predictable. And we've got friends like this who very successful, well-educated. They've got their 10-year vision that they've worked on together. It's written out as a couple, and they know, then we're going to be living in this nation, then we're going to be building that. And their life generally does work out according to this plan. So I think some people have that kind of predictability. My life has been the complete opposite. It's been just left, right, so many different businesses I've started, unpredictable. And I've almost become comfortable in a space where I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, and that's okay.
Oh.
You know, I am where I am. As where I'm meant to be today is I'm meant to be on this call with Ilaria, encouraging others. I know where I'm going after this, and obviously I've got some goals for the business, but I can honestly tell you I don't know where I'll be in 5 years' time. But I think as far as EXP is concerned, we will be the largest, most successful real estate company in South Africa in 5 years' time. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And you know, God willing, my personal group will have a really big chunk of that growth in South Africa, and we will have gone to other nations around the world. I'd love to personally get to a position where I'm able to travel more and speak to more crowds and encourage and, you know, do training. And so I think that's probably where my gifting lies. But at the moment, you know, we're in the trenches, we're building, and I just got my head down on building at this point.
Well said. And what does the word success mean to you?
Yeah, Ilaria, yes, you did send that question to me in advance, and I read it and I thought, how on earth does one answer that question? What does success mean? Actually, one of the things I thought when you said that was, I remember very early on when you and I had a discussion, one of the things you said to me was a certain word is, can't remember which language it is, but the word is Felix.
Yes, and you, happiness.
Yeah, happiness.
Latin.
Yes,
Latin.
Okay. And actually, that word Felix means fruitful.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, we all want to live fruitful lives. And that fruit can be born in different areas. You know, it must be born in different areas. If I make an absolute fortune in business, but in the process I lose the relationship with my best friend, my wife, it's not worth it. That's not success. If I end up having no relationship with my children, that's not success. If I lose my health in the process, that's not success. I want to live a fruitful life where no matter which area of my life you look at, there's good fruit, there's health, there's vibrance, there's joy. So I think there's many aspects to success, but I think that captures it. Is I want to, you know, you only get one life, and I want to bear as much fruit with it as I possibly can.
Wow. I have another last question for you, Stephen. Lately, you have been involved in a very important project, in my opinion, at global level, the GAAC. Can you tell us something about it? What it means to be together with different other experts around the globe, which work for a common purpose?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the GAAC is a very important initiative, and I want to commend EXP for initiating and putting it together. I think you guys are demonstrating to the agents again that you are agent-centric. This is an agent-centric business. You care about the voice of the agents. And that is not true of all companies, but that's what has made EXP successful. And so the GAAC, the Global Agent Advisory Council, the mandate for the council is to represent the voice of the agents globally, so the agents outside of the US or Canada. And that's important because, you know, even as we stand today, the growth of EXP has been 90% in the UK. I mean, sorry, in the US. And so with kind of 68,000 of the 75,000 agents being in the US, the danger is that the voice of all the agents now joining EXP around the world, I mean, we're in 19 countries now, that their voice will kind of be lost. But of course, we face unique challenges. We use different software, for example, than the US do. We have different legal challenges that we face in each of our nations. And so how can EXP as a very strong agent-centric US company begin to expand rapidly globally, but not disconnect from its roots of really listening to the voice of the agents? And so I think the council is incredibly important, and we will do our very best to gather up that voice and represent it back to you as EXP. And I think that is really the only way we're going to see the same success and growth and culture that we have in America growing around the world, is if we have that same level of respect for the voice of the agent. So yeah, I think it's an incredibly important initiative.
I agree with you, and I'm sure you will do an amazing job. So, Stephen, thank you for your precious time. Thank you for the powerful and inspiring message you share with me. I wish you to continue to be fruitful as you have been in this brief moment with me. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Ilaria, and I want to thank you for everything you do to support us. We value you and your work and the whole of the company, and we are very grateful for this opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you.